All right, guys, what's up? It's Kyle, also known as the Panda Man, with another episode of Unlocking Your Inner Strength with my man Cowboy Keith.
Howdy.
Yeah, man, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
It's always a pleasure.
Good workout in this morning.
Yeah, it was fucking great. You kicked my ass like usual. I love it.
We got to shoot the breeze in the parking lot. So
we might have shot too much and wasted a lot of shit, right?
we better save some of this stuff, man. So what's been going on since last time you were here?
Same shit. Just working on the business, working on my real estate businesses, working on the coaching business with Cowboy Keith, and just working towards getting my mind right, my body right, and getting closer to that high vibration and that fulfillment of living. Yeah,
man. And you look awesome, man.
Thank you. Same with you.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, you got more jacked and more lean since I last saw you last time.
It's the name of the game, right?
And I told him too, he's looking so much, he looks younger every time I see him because of the fasting. It's amazing.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah,
dude,
it's crazy.
We were talking about that. I have people that and it kind of freaks them out. They're like, you look younger than you did 10 years ago. My wife will even say that. And I think the gray beard throws people off, but it is the fasting. I was telling you at the gym, and this sounds bizarre, but I swear, I think I have gotten, and I told you this, Dan, I think I've gotten over the past 2 years, like a half an inch to an inch taller.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you think about it, right? If you think about, listen, I come from a bodybuilding background, and I used to do growth years ago. I'm talking in the 90s, early 2000s, before people even knew what it was.
Sure.
I worked in my first job that I told you about. My boss was a fucking complete shoe set, so he would just come in with boxes of shit. Like, you guys do whatever you want, right? So I would do the growth, and it's just insane. It was like the fountain of youth, your skin, the way it would get, the way you felt, your sense of well-being, waking up in the morning. There's nothing like it. But when those levels are getting high on a constant basis, you will grow.
Yeah.
You will build, muscle, but not only that, you will grow tissue and your bones can grow.
Yeah.
So if you think about it and you're fasting the way you are on a consistent basis, week after week, spiking that growth hormone, what does it go up like 2,000%?
Yeah.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's crazy because when the first time I came here, I'd watched your videos before and, they were showing me your stuff and I'd watch you. And then when I met you, I'm like, you look so much younger. Right? No offense. You look good and everything. But I'm like, he looks so much younger. And they're like, that's from fasting. They're like, if you go back on his wall and you look, you'll see, like, from when he started fasting, actually he starts looking younger.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
It makes fucking sense,
It's awesome, man. And it's cool because even like the body, dude. So the only thing that's changed in the past 4.5 years for me, so, doing TRT, all this stuff, right? Stuff's been consistent. But my wife, when I went out to Wes's mastermind in April,
right,
she had sent me a picture from about 4 or 5 years ago. I think we had just had, our second son was maybe a year,
right,
something like that. Sends me a picture, and dude, it was like, you put it next to the picture now, it's striking the difference. And the only difference is a longer form fasting. Way more in shape. And I was still doing everything. I was doing your 16, 18 hour
I think
fast.
she did a reel about that, talking about how you used to be going everywhere with your grilled chicken and your broccoli and blah, 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 and you weren't even half as lean.
Not even close. And I would get frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm eating 2,000 calories. I'm busting my butt. What's going on?
It's ridiculous.
It was nuts, dude. So
starving yourself of the fat, starving your brain of all that nutritious fat.
All of it, dude. And you're like miserable. And then I would live for my cheat day.
Yeah.
Like that was it. And
then you know what, though? When you live for your cheat day and you finally get there, it's almost like a drug. It's like, it's not enough.
Exactly.
And then like afterwards, you're like, that's it. And then it's like, was it even worth it?
Yeah, then the next day you feel like you get like a food hangover.
Yeah.
And you repeat. And that's what I tell people with the fasting. It's a principle. It's a lifestyle. I have a client, and he's a good dude. I've known him for a long time. So a couple weeks ago, he lost 60 pounds, right?
Wow.
And this is within like 4 months. He's got a gym up in Connecticut. And I told him this too. So he sends me his scan we haven't talked in a couple weeks, and he's back up to 225. So we're talking the other day. He had some personal stuff going on. So the stress kind of knocked him off course. And he goes, I want to go back over to fasting. Like, what stripe you doing? I want to be 195. I said, well, wait a minute. You were 195, right? He goes, yeah. I go, so what are you doing? Tell me. And I knew because he's like, well, I started breaking my fast, feasting earlier. I go, okay. I knew exactly what that meant.
Yeah.
I said, so you're doing your feet or is the window wide open now? He goes, well, yeah, I started eating like 2 o'clock. Then I have a dinner. I go, why? I go, this is not, it's something, so you see what happens.
Right.
If you go back to what you're doing, you're going to reverse. Your body's going to go right back to what it was.
Yep.
And that's where I tell people, I'll have these guys message and be like, well, what's the secret? I'll be like, it's your mind.
Consistency.
You decide. Yeah, decide that you're going to do it. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you're done with it. Yeah, discipline, right?
I got a new client the other day, and her and her husband, actually. And he was like, but I told her, she's the problem is she doesn't eat breakfast. And I told her that's bad. It's the most important meal. Like, well, actually, it's not. That's bullshit too. That was a marketing scheme that they did with us to have us eat breakfast and their cereal. And they actually, how it really started was they wanted us to. The meat companies wanted to sell more meat.
Yeah.
So if they told it breakfast is the most important meal of the day, to sell more sausage and bacon and whatever else, right? Yeah. So I said, wait, well, hold on a minute. And this client, she's got a lot of weight to lose, right? So I'm like, that's not such a bad thing. I'm like, so tell me, what do you eat in the morning? Because I figured like she'd break it fast. She's like, well, I go to 7-Eleven and I get Starbucks to get a mochi blah 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 blah. She's like, nothing. I'm like, nothing. I'm like, do you drink water? She's like, yeah, I drink water. I'm like, do you drink coffee? She's like, yeah, but I'll drink it black. I'm like, this is good. This is a head start right here. So how long can you go before you eat? She's like, well, I'll have my last meal at night, maybe 7, 8 o'clock, and then I won't eat till the next day until like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I'm like, we could stay there. Actually, this is even better. Perfect. It's going to be less of a meal prep for you, less you worrying about all your meals. I'm like, if you can go every day till 2, 3 o'clock, break your fast with that first meal, and then at let's say 6 or 7 o'clock, have your nice big dinner, and then end it there and fill yourself up. I'm like, you can stay right there. I'm like, let's just get more healthy foods and let's watch your macros a little bit right now, losing the weight. And that's what I'm doing. And it winds up being easier. You know what I mean? Easier, so I tell people, listen, if you can fast, or if you're fasting right now, if you're not eating breakfast, if you're not a breakfast person, that's a bonus. We were all under the assumption, especially myself with bodybuilding, oh, you got to wake up and you got to get those calories. You got to have breakfast right away. It's the most important meal. Fuck, it slows you down though. It really does.
Big time, dude.
Yeah.
Big time. And the more you fast and then you observe, like most people wake up and eat, it's just a bizarre thing when you think about it. It's like, why would you have to wake up and eat? Right. You were just sleeping.
Right.
Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, when you actually just look at it, it slows you down, it goes against the hormones, and it's just nuts, man.
It's all hormonal.
It is. Everything is. And people want to go back to the calories. I'm like, your metabolic rate goes up or down 40%. Most people only experience it going down when they cut calories on. I'm like, why not play with it and feast and push it up? Like you were telling me at the gym, right? When you have your one meal and you'll do like 3,500 calories. That's awesome.
Yep.
One shot, feast. Yep. Drive that metabolic rate up.
It feels great. Too.
Yeah. And then you're good.
Full.
You're full.
And if you're having that one meal and, you can even, it doesn't have to be that perfect. You can have some carbs. You can have, and, the next day you wake up, you're flat again.
Yeah.
Your body eats it right up.
Yeah.
It's a great
You have
feeling.
a lot more leeway eating like that.
Yeah, you do.
And that's like, you don't have to go crazy with, okay.
You can finally get that fulfilled feeling at night.
It's huge. Liberating, man.
Yeah.
I felt like a prisoner the old way I used to die. And it was my prison of my own making.
Yep.
Right? So I want to talk to you too. I mean, you're 47.
Right.
Most guys would kill to have your physique. Tell us about like your daily routine, your discipline. You got multiple businesses. Obviously, you're training your balls off.
Yeah.
Tell us about your daily routine.
All right, my daily routine is a 4:30 wake up every day, no matter what. I put this stuff on my story too to like show people I don't fucking miss ever.
What time are you getting to sleep? Is that fair?
Listen, and this sucks because I know how important sleep is. And I do lack a little bit of sleep because I'm just so busy and I'm grinding and I'm trying. I try to get in bed by 10.
Okay.
Which gives me what, like 6.5 hours, right? Sometimes it's 11 or whatever. Sometimes I'll try to make up sleep if I can get in there 9 o'clock. But normally it's around 10:30 I'm going to sleep. So I'm getting 6.5 hours. I'm up every day at 4:30, no matter what.
No matter what.
7
days a week.
7 days a week. Even on the Sunday that I don't train, I have to get up. And it's crazy too because, on like some days, like let's say on a Sunday, I'll be like really tired and my wife would be like, do you have to get up? I'm like, I have to. Number one, I just made it into such a habit, such a non-negotiable that like my body just like, my day's all screwed up if I don't. And number two, I have all these people following me and watching me never miss and get up at that 4:30 mark and they're all waiting for it. And, and I, if I'm in bed and like I'm like let's say I feel like, oh, I'm not going to put that post up. I get anxiety. I know people are waiting. I don't want to let them down. You know, I got to show, you know, you have to be an example. I see so many fucking trainers at the gym training people out of shape, fat, eating like shit. I'm like, how do you represent yourself like that and train people? Like you have to set an example. If that's gonna be your profession and you're gonna train people and you're gonna preach how to eat and how to work out, you don't get that downtime. You have that luxury of falling off for a little bit. Oh, I'm not so lean right now because this is my off month. No, there is nothing like that. To me, I gotta be lean, in shape all year round. I gotta set that example. I gotta show everybody that I don't fucking miss no matter what. And why? Because if I show that, even if out of the 365 days I show a couple of misses, my clients are gonna be like, oh, well, he missed. And their misses will be much more than mine, you know? And that's, so by them seeing like he doesn't miss, well, I was like, what happens if you're shitting out, if you got diarrhea and you're pissing out your ass? I'm like, well, then I'll probably take some dumbbells in the bathroom at the gym, set them up, and they'll see me doing fucking, shoulder presses, slam shit.
Yeah.
So my schedule is, I wake up at that 4:30 mark every single day, no matter what. Show everybody, do my little with the family picture. Good morning. Every time, same way with the date, and so they know this guy's fucking up, right? Next thing, I go downstairs. I'll read a couple of pages from my book, right? And
what do you read?
Right now I'm reading. It's a book about consciousness, it's called what is it? Something 360. I forget the name of it. I have to.
It's good though.
It's really good, and I'll tell you why. Because I've been reading a lot of books. Like the last one I read was, I think, just one more. Something. It was something about being in the moment, being conscious, right? And a lot of the books, like when you get into that, they're hard to wrap your head around. Sometimes, like, as you're reading it, you'll have to like read that paragraph like 3 or 4 times before you get it. And sometimes you'll have to read the book a couple times before it will actually click, because it really gets in depth and it's hard. This book was like one of the most simple books about it, and it makes it very easy to understand it. And I felt like as I'm reading it, I'm understanding it right away, and I can actually feel my days getting better each page that I read. So I'll post that up on and
tag me in that,
and tag you in that. But it's a great book. So I'll do that.
How long do you read for? How many pages? Are you doing pages?
I'll just do like in the morning. I'll just wake up and probably just do like just 2 or 3 pages just to get some reading in, just to wake myself up. And then at night I'll read more. Sure. So I'll do that. And then, if lucky my dog winds up coming down, if he's not too tired, I'll get my Where's My Dog in, right? Because people are waiting for that.
Yeah.
And then it's the supplements. And then the next step, they know, boom, once they see those supplements go up, it's on. I'm going to the gym. Then the next step, I'm out the door. I'm filming my walk to the car where I hit my little thing and my lights up in the seat. I'm off to the gym. As soon as I pull in the gym parking lot, I'm taking that picture of me driving in, going to whatever gym I'm going for the day, and then that's my positive quote for the day for everybody, whatever it's about, just positive mindset, discipline, dedication, whatever it may be, right? And then I'll go into the gym. It's usually about, let's say, 5:30. I'll get my workout in. I'll try to get a couple shots in the gym so I could put it out for my story that day, show people what my workout was, what I did. If I'm not fasting, I'll come home. I'll have my shake, which I use Pravi, which is the cleanest protein I found. It's got like 2 ingredients, which is natural flavor, and vanilla natural flavoring, and goat whey. That's it.
Nice.
And I'll usually have that with a scoop of raw honey from the farm across the street. I'll normally put 2 or 3 raw eggs from the farm across the street in there, some creatine, and that will be my protein shake. And then from there, the family will wake up.
So you're done. You're back. Everything before the family's even.
Yeah, I'm back and done with all that. The family's still sleeping.
Nice.
I'm back in the house 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then they wake up. A lot of times I'll cook them breakfast because I want to make sure they eat something healthy. I'll actually feed my kids, like they'll do like egg in a cup, and what I'll do is I'll make 2 eggs over medium for them. I'll salt the shit out of it so they love it, and that makes them love it, right? Pink Himalayan or Celtic, right? I'll take a piece of sourdough bread that I'll get from the bakery, and I'll toast that, chop that up, and I'll put it in a cup, I'll mix it all up, and that's their breakfast right there. They love it. Got them off the oatmeal, that bullshit, and everything else, the cereal, all that crap. So then I'll spend a little time with the family, make some calls, see where my day is going to go out. If I'm going into the office in Melville, or if I have properties to go check on, and my day starts from there. And then throughout the day, I'm either in the office, or I'm out and about going to meet clients in foreclosure, looking at properties, meeting investors, and then just trying to fit in my coaching and all my content in that. So my days are busy. And there's not enough time in the day, it's nonstop. But you know what? That's what I need.
Yeah.
I got to stay busy. That's what keeps me healthy, keeps me out of trouble, keeps me on the right path. And that's really it. That's my day right there,
And do you have a set time when you stop working, or is it just?
It depends on what I got going on, but normally I'll try to get home around 6 or 7.
Okay.
And then, normally I'll make dinner. I have steaks out for the family, so we'll all have a nice dinner, sweet potato steak, whatever it is, fish. And then I'll relax with then I'll probably get a little bit more work done, work on coaching, stuff like that. And then, the kids will go to sleep. I'll try to spend at least like a half an hour with the wife, read a little bit more of my book, and I'll try to get in bed, and then we do it all over again.
Nice. A lot of discipline, man.
Yeah, a lot of discipline.
That's it.
It's the way to be, though.
It is, man.
I'm at a point now, I never thought I'd get here, that I'm finally happy, not drinking. And like just being, chick was this new life. It's a fucking journey, man. Stopping after 34 years and just stopping cold turkey one day, everything, just to get my mind back and get my life right and wrap my head around it. But I'm at the point now, and I talk about this a lot. When I got sober, I was like, people are like, well, you can't go to bars, you can't be around alcohol. I'm like, no, I'm never fucking doing that. If I gotta be like that, then I'll just keep fucking drinking.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like a prisoner where I can't go places and can't do certain things and can't hang out. Fuck that. I want to be hanging out, just as happy, doing the same shit with alcohol around me. So immediately when I got sober, I put myself around it immediately. I went to Florida for Thanksgiving. There was drinking around me. There was everything else. I went on a vacation to Key West for New Year's, and that was hard. Getting there, everyone's drinking, and when you get to first on vacation, everyone's like, "Let's go get a drink." So that was a little bit difficult. But I put myself in all these situations: Christmas, New Year's, this, that. The hardest part of the fucking year, right in the beginning, because I wanted to be able to go out and still hang out with people drinking, eating, whatever the hell it may be. And like every day, I still go out with my boys from work, in my office, and every day we go to the steakhouse. They still have their glass of tequila and whatever else. Doesn't bother me. They know now when they order, they're like, yeah, we'll take 3 tequilas, and he'll have his steak and his seltzer and his fucking espresso every day. And I sit there and I enjoy myself. I look forward to that lunch. I hang out with them. We talk. I'm having my steak. I have my, whatever it is. I feel great. It's like my little social time. And the same thing with like going out. Like last night I went out to dinner, and I'm at the point now where, everyone's drinking except for me, but I'm content with it. I'm having great conversations, more positive conversations too. It always, not that I want it to be about me, but it always winds up being about me because people are like, well, how do you do it? Well, you're in shape. And, but I wind up talking so much that before I'm like, wow, the night's over.
Yeah.
And I'm even to the point now where like, if I didn't have to come to you today, we were having such a good time. I'm like, if I didn't have to go, wake up at 4:30 and head to New Jersey, I'm like, let's go out more. I can go out right now and hang out with people till 2 a.m. like I normally would with everybody drinking, without drinking, and actually have fun.
Sure.
Enjoy myself. And I never thought in a million years that I could get there. So that's like one of the best feelings right now.
Yeah,
it's actually,
man.
I'm happy again. Well, I'm not even happy again. I'm happy for the first time in my life, truly happy.
That's fantastic.
And I never thought I'd reach that point.
It's so good, man. Did the temptations ever come?
Of course they do. And they're gonna forever. But I could just, once you get aware, once you get to a point and you wake up, you just know the outcome. And I just know it. I mean, listen, like last night there was a point where dessert came out, right? And one thing, when I went out to eat, I would always like my glass of wine with my steak. And at the end of the meal, I would always have my espresso and I like my little sambuca on the side. I really enjoyed that, So my buddy next to me got, his sambuca and his espresso, and I smelt the sambuca a little bit. I'm like, oh, I missed that a little bit. But, then by the time we were on the car drive home, I'm like, it's over. And, everyone else is like, you know what? We all feel like shit. You're going to feel great tomorrow. But,
yeah.
And I don't need it. It's like I know where it's going to go. it's like a drink here, maybe I'll have one there. And before you know it, you're drinking again. You're missing workouts. You're not on point. You're missing meetings. It just all goes to the same place. And, I don't need it.
Yeah, that's so good, man. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
It's when I did I don't know if we talked about this last time, 75 hard last fall.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a big drinker, but I was getting into that routine. I have a couple IPAs Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just because it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There was no reason.
Yeah.
And I would look, but it was like
you started looking forward to it.
I started looking forward to it, and I was like, man, so I had to get my mind right when I was doing 75. I was like, okay, I'm not drinking. And I thought that was going to be the toughest part for me. And so I research it, and I'm looking for stuff to reinforce what I'm doing. Alcohol means body eating spirit.
Yeah, we spoke about this last time.
Yeah, we did last time. And you think
we got some shit about it too. A couple of trolls went on there, and they got proved wrong.
Oh yeah, that's it. And it's like, look, if people do whatever they want, but like you said, when you at the end of the night now you go to sleep,
right?
You don't have to recover from the night out.
Yep.
Right. Like, and there's all these other people that say, man, now your body's got to detoxify that, and it's got to do all that.
I have to be honest with you. That was one of the biggest things. Also, as I got older, the other day I woke up and I was like, I wasn't feeling good. I was like, I had a little something. I was a little sick. I still went to the gym though. I still showed everybody that. I woke up. I'm like, I'm not feeling good, but I'm gonna go. Supplements went up later. I went. I showed them, right. But it gave me that feeling of being hungover, and I'm like, wow, I could never deal with this feeling again. I just can't deal with the hangover. And that was one of my biggest problems. If I got annihilated myself, let's say the night before, I wake up the next morning hungover, I got to have another drink. I got to fix myself. I can't take that anxiety, that feeling. And normally back in the day, I would wake up and have one Bloody Mary, and that would cure me, and then I'd go into my day. But then as I got older, it'd be one Bloody Mary, and then I went to work, and then before you know it, I'm drinking that whole day again. And it's carrying on, and it's just a fucking mess.
Yeah, it is, man. I was telling you when we were over at the gym, we had a good workout before this. What I did the other night, which I do twice a year, is a big psychedelic trip.
Right.
But even when you do that, right? So I did that Wednesday night into my birthday, which was Thursday. Right. So I did a little more than an eighth, but there's no hangover from it, right? There's none of that. And you get these insights, which I think is really cool. And you can use the plants as a medicine, right? And it's just a good thing, man. And it was, you get these answers when you do that type of stuff.
Absolutely.
So I lean more towards that stuff where it's okay. Can it help me be more creative? Does it help me get into the zone? Into the zone. And I wound up, most of the night, it was weird. I don't know what I sat out there with my Bible, sat out there with my notepad near the fire pit.
Well, you were doing this by yourself, or you were with
myself?
Somebody?
Yeah.
Oh wow, you're a sick man.
Yeah, I do. I know. Yeah, I do. And now when I do it when the family's sleeping.
Okay.
So there's no somebody's going to disturb me or So I try to I know the timing now, so I'll time it. Okay, I do it. It's about 45 minutes before it starts setting in.
Right.
So my wife was out with one of her friends.
How much would you eat?
How many did I do? So I did. I've been doing the bars, right?
You've been doing the bars, okay.
So I did a whole bar and then 2 more squares.
The whole bar?
The whole bar, yes. A little more than that.
Oh wow, you got fucking in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I know though how to deal with it now. And that's why I bring the Bible out.
Right.
Is I sit there because the first time I did it, I went to it was needed, but I went to a very scary place.
Yeah.
And it was because I latched on to a certain thought. So since that time now, I sit there, and if I feel anything if my focus is going, I just open the Bible, and it gives me peace.
A whole bar, right? You really put yourself.
Oh yeah, I put it, man.
Yourself,
and it's so I look at it, and I do that twice a year now, where I'll do a bigger trip. But I look at it as an initiation. Okay, what's coming? What are the answers I need? And then we hit the barbarian. We tried to do the barbarian yesterday, but it's it was funny because I didn't know. You just kind of start going, and I called my older brother. It wasn't my plan, but we wound up talking for 2 hours on the phone.
It's cool.
It was neat, man. We talked I don't know what time. It was past midnight, but we were just reminiscing about stuff.
Yeah, it's good though. It's good stuff.
So it was good, man. It was pretty cool.
You have how many brothers and sisters?
I got 3 brothers, no sisters.
Oh wow.
4 of us.
Shit.
Just 4 of us boys. I'm the second oldest, and it's been neat as we've gotten older. The relationship.
That's good.
With each of them, it's different.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we all support each other. We all.
It's rare.
It's rare,
because it's bad. I don't talk to my mother, my sister, my father. Anybody. We spoke about this, but it's you see it a lot. It's families. You can't pick your family. And it's very rare for families to actually get along, stay along, support each other like that. Nowadays, you don't see it a lot.
No.
Normally what happens is, if let's say there's brothers and sisters, people get married. This one doesn't like this one's wife, blah, blah, blah. And then little by little, they start breaking up, separating. So it's cool that you still have
It is,
that.
man. I'm very blessed. And that was the big takeaway from the other night for me. We can sit there sometimes and we think, I need this. I got to push. I got to do this.
Yeah.
And the big thing for me the other night was you have everything you need right in front of you. You're so blessed. You don't, enjoy the process of the other stuff.
Yeah.
Then the outcome will happen. But when I focus on, okay, this has to be the outcome, the joy goes away, right? And I'm not focusing on my family as much as I should.
Right,
Why?
right.
This is it right here. They're right here. So at the end of the night, I'll go in, I kiss all the kids. They're all sleeping right by that point. But it's like, man, I got everything. And it gives me a feeling of peace.
I used to do the same thing. I would trip out on either mushrooms or ecstasy, and I would get into that euphoric place. And there would be times that I'd be like in the middle of a club somewhere. It'd be like, 10 a.m. Sunday morning because, you go into it and be in this like zone and everything's just going nuts around me with this club. This show is going on, but I'm just like, everything's quiet and I'm thinking. And maybe I have something that's going on and I just start thinking about it in my head, a problem that I can't get over for years. And I would just put it into perspective. I kind of just step out and look at it and be like, tell myself, like, no, it's actually okay. This is why this happened. It happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. We're only human. You'd make sense of it and leave that place saying, you know what, I'm okay with it now. I remember, I told you how I first got into sales was there was this boiler room and I wound up working for it. I didn't know, we were young, all of us. We were all in our 20s, started making a shitload of money. And it wasn't until I was already in it for probably a year and a half, and that I was making a lot of money as a young kid that I realized that what we were doing was wrong. Because at first it was like, oh, you get on the phone, you're going to sell these people, you're going to say this, here's the pitch, blah, blah, blah. I just looked at it as like clients, numbers, And, the bosses also kind of trained you to say, 20-year-old kids making fucking $10,000, $20,000 a week, spend that money. You work hard, you play hard. You go out, you get cars, you're going to do this, you're going to party, So we just blew all of our money and they got you to a point where like you had to make that money now, right? But there was one night, I remember I used to go to Sound Factory in Manhattan. That was like my club there. And I'm just like, I'm tripping balls. And I'm just getting like all spiritual and shit. And then like I just started thinking about things, and I had clients that like I would be selling on a weekly basis. This guy for $20,000 a week, this guy for $50,000 a week for coins, rare coins. That's what it was, right? And it just clicked on me, and then I started like I started putting like a face with the client instead of just like a number on a client anymore. I'm like, wow, like Rita from Arkansas. I'm like, I'm fucking taking her money and like I'm doing the wrong thing. And I started like thinking about it, and it clicked in my head. And I remember coming home to my wife, and I'm like, I'm doing wrong shit. Like this is all wrong, right? So then we went to the movies and we saw Boiler Room that week because it just came out. And after I saw that, I was like, yo, I gotta get out of there. This is exactly what's going on. And then a week later we got raided, and that was my first fucking charge.
That was it.
Yeah, but I realized it, that night in the Sound Factory tripping balls. I just came in and just started like put it together and was like, just thought about it.
Yeah.
Came out of myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've always believed in like psychedelics in that way too. Like especially, like not eating anymore, stuff like that, but like the natural stuff, like mushrooms and stuff like that can really open your mind. And there's a lot of studies that were done that it helps with people with mental illness and addictions and stuff like that. So, using it for those purposes, I don't disagree with,
Yeah.
And I totally believe in it.
Yeah, and I think people just have to be ready for it,
Yeah.
If you're not, you're not in control.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a whole bar get you good, man.
Yeah, a lot of people,
That's visual. Shit's melting at that point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, people, so say when you're ready, if you want to try it, you try it, man. So today, what did you think of the squats today? We did a long set so we did 4-minute sets, 2 rounds.
Those kick my ass. I know if I come back again now, I'll be able to be better at this. This is my first time. The conditioning wasn't there. That's what's great too. Is like you can, you know, I can work out and do my workouts and be strong as hell, and you can maybe come try some of my stuff and you'll be like weak at it because you're not conditioned that way. And then I'll come here and, you know, as jacked as you are, and is this, you know, it's a different exercise and it just hits you a different way. You're not conditioned for it, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah,
I like coming here and getting broken down like that, testing myself, which I knew I would be. It was hard though. I almost, you know, I didn't make it through the 4 minutes on the first one. I think the second one I almost did. Next time I'll be able to do it, but it's definitely a challenge. I needed to pace myself a little bit too. At first I'm just doing them and I'm like, then I'm looking at that clock. I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, this is the longest 4 minutes I ever.
It's funny, right? It puts time in perspective, man, when you do stuff like that, how time slows down.
Yeah. But they say that when you're putting the tension on the muscle like that for over, I think like a minute or a minute and a half is when you're really going to start to make it grow.
It is, man.
You know?
It's a time under tension.
Yep.
You know, which is, it's essential for growth. And, you know, I do that stuff more for the mental, you know, component of it. But it puts you in a different place.
Let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
So today we did that workout, right?
Uh-huh.
And we did the shoulder presses with the dumbbells. Then we went to the laterals, the half laterals. And then we went to the bent over rows with the dumbbells, single arm bent over rows, right? And then we did the squats. So we did some legs, we did a little bit of back, we did some shoulders, right? Kind of like a little whole body workout. Yeah. We also did some push-ups to warm up, stuff like that. So now you work out every day, right? Uh-huh. So now what would your workout be tomorrow? Are you hitting those muscles again? Are you hitting different muscles?
So tomorrow, yeah. So I only hit the weights about 3 days a week now. But tomorrow we'll get in some RDLs. So I hit some of the posterior. We'll do, you know, obviously I got to work around my calf, popping it, but a lot of carries, like farmer's walks, sleds. And then we'll throw in some more typical bodybuilding stuff, maybe biceps, maybe a different type of, you know, shoulder raise, front raise maybe. So we'll do something along those lines. But it's every time I train, I try to get legs in.
Yeah.
Like if I just had a
every day almost, huh?
Yeah, every time I'm doing it, right? And
you feel that they don't need time to heal? You feel like
no. Even when I do,
your legs are jacked, so
yeah. You know what's funny too with the legs? I was telling you, like that was always my strong suit when I was bodybuilding. Was my legs, because I would just train them to the point where I'd figure out how much they could do.
Yeah.
Right. But so I think we talked last time. I'm going to hit a marathon in November. So I've been running just twice a week. You know, I do a short run. For me, short right now is like 3.5. Right. And then I do a longer one on Sundays. So this past Sunday, I hit my longest I've gone as far as a straight run, which was 11 miles.
Wow.
But the long distance running has developed my legs more.
Really?
You know, where people think it's the opposite, but I can see it. I'm like, you know, it's just a lot of time under tension, and they feel good. You know, the joints feel really good doing it. I mean, they'll get a little banged up.
Right.
I've got to recover from that. So Mondays then, it's usually I'm doing backwards walking in the morning, and then I'll go for a walk, and then calisthenics throughout the day. So that's like my workout on Monday.
Almost like an off workout, but still working.
Yeah,
out.
still move. I think keeping
it moving.
Every day I do something.
Yeah, me too.
As far as moving, right?
I can't not.
Yeah, it's just something. You got to do something.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll figure out this Sunday because I won't be able to run. I don't think I'll figure out. I'll do something. I'll maybe go for a
So
hike.
it's not like you have days where you come in and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna do chest and tries and do like 5 exercises and 5 exercises.
No, it's been a long time since I've done that, and I'm not opposed to it. It's just, you know, I like the cardio effect I get.
I know, I like that too.
You know, it just makes me feel.
I like that. Really breaking that sweat and getting that out of breath feeling. I love it, man.
Next time you come, we'll do the barbarian, the team challenge. It's good, man, because you passing the sandbag around. You're doing.
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, you know, when he said you hurt your calf, I was like, I wanted to do it, but I'm like, it's all right.
Yeah, man, we got to modify it now, man. Damn it. But we'll get it in next time because it's good. Because we'll normally do that, and then probably by the end of September, we'll switch over. You know, when the weather starts breaking. You know, we'll be back indoors mainly. But yeah, to me, it's the mental. Like who's your? Because I'm thinking of Mike.
I'm surprised you guys don't do it in the cold at like 0 below. Guys, get your fucking underwear.
You know, as I'm saying that, I'm like, why don't we keep doing that? I don't know why.
Yeah, maybe it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
You know what? You take the cold. Bear the cold.
Yeah, I don't know why we stopped doing it. And when I said that, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why we stopped doing it? But so maybe we will.
I wonder if the extreme cold on your body is good for almost like an ice bath would be.
It might be. It might be.
That's something to research, huh?
Yeah, because you're going to heat up anyway. When you're pushing like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, kind of like the Goggins approach, just keep seeking out that tough, you know, that tough.
You know what? I gotta figure this out because I'm doing. I work out 6 days a week, right? And I do. You know, Monday is chest, shoulders, tries. Tuesday is back, traps, and buys, right? And then Wednesday's legs, and then I repeat that all over again. I switch up the workouts now to where like my second half of the workout of the week is different. It's like more heavy movements and doing some deadlifts and big, you know, more hack squats, stuff like that. But you know, I have, you know, heard a little bit of research that a whole body workout sometimes it makes you grow more.
Yeah.
You know, I guess it probably gets those hormones higher.
Yeah.
You know, your growth hormone you test. So maybe I'm going to try to possibly continue my first 3 days like that. And then those other 3 days go outside the box and do some more like barbaric type shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I think it's just good. You know, as long as whatever you're doing, it's working. Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you look great and I think you feel great. So,
But it's
like,
that different type of movement. It's like those farmers walks, and it's like walking with those sandbags that are going to give you that like man strength.
Yes.
That like strength if you needed it type shit. You know what I mean?
Turn it on. Yeah. You have it.
That's what I like about it. You know, working out different muscles.
It is, man. Different planes of motion.
It's just like you're so used to picking up, you know, tons of weight like that. To like the normal guy, even if he's in shape, to pick something up like that, it's going to be like hot.
It's going to be,
You're looking at it like I carry this bitch fucking a mile.
Yeah. You know what's cool? Yeah, it is, man. And it's like when I go to jiu-jitsu, I can see it. It directly corresponds to that. Like, okay, now I'm in there and I have that strength in all these planes of motion. You know, where it's like
you kick somebody with those legs, you might kill them.
Yeah, dude, it's funny.
Those things are tree trunks, bro.
Yeah, dude, it's funny. You know, it's you know, we were at the pool. We went to a friend's house Sunday.
Right.
There's like 4 or 5 families there. You know, and I got shorts on like these.
Right.
One of the moms said, "Man," she goes, "I could look at your quads all day." And I took it. I was like, "That's kind of." I was like, "Ah, that's cool." I said, "Hey, I'm putting the work in." And my wife was joking too, but it's like I tease my wife now. I'm like, "It's my best body part. I might as well wear the shorts and show them off."
Listen, it's your most important body part.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. I see guys all the time in the gym, and they're like, "I don't train legs." I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's your foundation.
It is,
and it's a fact. The bigger your legs are, the bigger your upper body will grow.
It's got to be.
They did a study. I did like I did a thing on it. I might have done a reel on it where they did. It took 10 guys over 12 weeks. 10 guys only trained legs. The other 10 guys only trained upper body. At the end of the 10 weeks, the guys that just trained legs were all around bigger. Their chest got bigger. Their biceps got bigger. Their body got bigger. They got leaner. They looked better. What does that tell you?
It's it, man. It's that global effect. It's just like when guys do tests, right?
Right.
I mean, it's not just where you inject it that grows. It's a global effect, right? Yep. And we want that systemic, you know, the stimulus. And you always got to go back to, like, a lot of people say they don't have time to train. Okay, so if you're limited in time, what are you going to do?
Right.
Right. And that's the way I look at it.
You can't make time. I mean, even you could get a decent work in 45 minutes.
Easily, dude.
Easy. You could really get it done in 30 if you really hustle and just do like a hit.
There's no, like, if you had so little time, and you built yourself up, like I told you, the max I've done and will work up to again is the 8-minute set of squats.
Yep.
So if somebody came and they said, okay, I got no time. Okay, come in, hit your push-ups, body weight squats, warm up, hit your 8-minute set of squats. See if you have anything left. If you do have anything left in the tank, and because then you're literally talking about like a 20-minute workout.
Yeah.
Which would be.
I'm going to add that in. Yeah. Definitely. Those 8-minute squats.
Dude,
those are awesome.
They're awesome, dude.
Those are awesome. Those are hard. I need that.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like I said, I got to start maybe getting a partner at least maybe once or twice a week to push me, because I train every day by myself. It's hard because I also like it too.
Yeah.
I get in that zone. I don't want to rely on anybody, but you know, I don't have a spot. I can only push myself so much, you know. The other day, I was benching. I think I put up like 335 or whatever.
Oh, wait, man.
And people, like, there was no one there. Like, you don't have a spot? I'm like, no. Like, there was no one in the gym. They're like, you could have died. I'm like, well, no. It's either I get it up or I'm in trouble. Yeah, or I'll have to do one of these. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what makes me, you know, when I take it off, I know I got to get that motherfucker
get
up.
it, dude.
And I do.
Yeah, I get it, dude.
You know, and I'll know if I got another one after that. If since I have no spot, like, listen, I got a clean one on this. I'll just, you know, I know I could get 2 more. If somebody's around, then I'll hit it next time. But at least I grab it. I took it off, touched my chest with it. I had some little son of a bitch troll telling me, you know, you probably do half reps. I'm like, these guys don't stop. Man.
No, they don't, man. You know, but I always tell these guys, it's good when you get the trolls, you're on the right track.
Yep.
If they ain't paying attention, you're not putting out. You know,
it's unbelievable. I got this guy right now on the cholesterol one that I did.
That was great too.
It's I call him. Thank you. I call him Willy Wonka because he's got no pictures on his post. He says he's a fucking highly decorated doctor. Which why wouldn't you actually prove that and show your face and show your credentials? And his cover page is Willy Wonka. I'm like, bro. I'm like, stop your nonsense. I'm like, show your credentials, show your face. How old are you? I'm like, you're coming on here talking all this crap and you have Willy Wonka as your fucking cover page. So the point is, though, is that my wife's like, he's back at it again. He's on that fucking thread every day, trolling through it, starting with everybody. And what's great, too, is I got a ton of doctors coming in, backing me up and just annihilating him. But my wife's like, block him. I'm like, no, don't block him. I'm like, this guy's great. He's keeping it going.
Dude,
he's feeding the fire.
That. You want that.
You know? And he's still probably going right now.
Yeah, dude, you want that. Do you listen to Patrick Bet David at all?
A little bit.
He's good, man. That dude is solid. But he had on Anthony Weiner like a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Right? It's his biggest Democratic deep state establishment guy you could get on.
Oh, my God. How'd that go?
It was very entertaining because they were going back and forth.
Right.
And it was like, this is good, not radio, whatever. This is a good show because they were going at it. You know, and I was like, but it was entertaining. Right. If you have everybody that just agrees with you, it's like, whatever, man. We did the Trump poll, and it wasn't about Trump on one reel, but it's taken off. People get so lost, and as soon as you say the word Trump, they lose their mind.
They lose their fucking mind.
And it wasn't even about that, but these people, man, they're going, and it's split half and half probably. People are like, yeah, I agree with that, and people are like,
it's so frustrating. And I try to stay away from politics because I don't want to go there because it's like it could go on and on and on and it's fucking tiring.
Yeah.
But it just annoys the shit out of me that people just won't open up their eyes and actually see it for what it is. Like, look, I don't give a shit if Trump grabbed somebody's fucking pussy back in the day, right? Because all those fucking guys are doing that, right? If he cheated on Melania, whatever the case may be, if you look at like the news from back then, they were focusing on like, I remember like one of the news things was like, watch Trump walk and watch Melania's behind him and he's not even holding her hand. Who gives a fuck? This guy made more peace treaties. Our economy never ran better. Gas prices were low. I mean, he was looking out for our best interest. And the bottom line is, I tell people this, I'm like, he can't be motherfucking bought. And that's all that matters.
Anti-establishment.
Everybody else in our government has been bought. They're corrupt. He's like, I don't need your motherfucking money, and I'm going to do the right thing.
Yes.
And why do they want him out? Because he's fucking up their shit.
Yeah.
Fucking up their plan.
Exactly.
And I just wish people would be like, listen, I don't give a shit. What he can come grab my wife's pussy every morning if he runs this country again. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, dude, it's and it is, man. It's the anti-establishment, right? Like that's all I'm for, and that's why I was even like RFK Jr. is a good pick because he's calling these people out, right?
Yeah, he is.
And it's like that's all you got to be for. Like I'm still kind of thrown off by DeSantis. Like
I'm thrown off too.
But now the neocons and all these got behind him. I'm like, okay, so now he's just part of the establishment.
I like DeSantis. I'm just a little, but then I started seeing some stuff that I'm thinking like, was this a ploy? Like because certain people started backing him. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And he started getting like a little like wanted to be in the public.
It's a red flag,
which kind of upset me because I really liked what he was doing, especially for Florida.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess we'll have to see, you know?
We'll have to see, man. I mean, I think...
they could have been doing that all along to get people to like him, so they could put him before Trump, and then he turns.
Yeah.
And he's with,
Yeah.
Because, listen, when there's billions of dollars involved and money, it's.
It is, man. It's a machine. And it's... we were kind of talking in the parking lot. I'm a believer that the best thing that could happen is all the systems collapse.
Yeah, we spoke about that.
Yeah. I really think, man. I think education, all this stuff, man.
Oh, my God.
I think everything collapses.
Ridiculous.
It's the only way forward. And then you
Yep.
rebuild and you don't re-enter that system.
You know, think about this, right? You know, and there's so much that I've learned over the past couple of years since the election and Trump and everything went on with that. I always knew there was corruption. And I always knew, like, you know, there was a lot of conspiracy theories that were true, right? But I didn't know how true shit was and how actually even much further it was that like, it's even worse than I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a 2. It's like a fucking 30.
Oh, yeah.
It's nuts. And what the hell, where was I going with this now? Shit, I lost it.
Conspiracies with Trump.
Right, the conspiracies with Trump. I lost it.
It's all good, man. But hey, no, I do the same thing, man.
This is what happens when you do drugs for 34 years. You fucking lose it sometimes.
But it opens your eyes, dude.
Yeah, it opens up your eyes. So yeah, that's what I was saying. So I didn't realize to the level that it was, you know? And when all these conspiracies, every single one of them came true.
It's all true.
And it's hard for people to wrap their head around that. It really is. It was hard for me to wrap my head around that.
It shatters their what they think they knew, man. And people don't even
Yes.
realize with conspiracy, right? It's when two people come together to do something. So,
Right.
And conspiracy theory was put out by the CIA when JFK was shot to shut down any alternative narrative. It was a weaponized term. So people throw it around like this, and I'm like, yeah, it's a conspiracy, but it's no longer just a theory. It's
Right.
proven. So
Right.
now what do you have to say to that? Right?
Where'd you find that?
Where'd you
As
find
they're
it?
watching the news.
The news. It's proven.
I get that all the time. Like, they're watching the news and they're like believing that. And I'm like, I have like listen, this is true. This happened. There's facts. You can actually follow it back. I want you to do the research yourself. You can go, you can Google this, you can come to this website, you can find this document, you can find this in the, you know, in the US Congress. Like, this is all here. Oh, where did you find that? And they won't do the fucking research.
They won't. And
It's like it's craziness. It
It-
really is.
It's fascinating to watch, man. It's different realities you live in.
If people would just start thinking for themselves, right? This world would be such a different place. You know, when it comes to the government, when it comes to your health, when it comes to the healthcare system, make your own decisions, do your own research, and you know, and just think for yourself. If we started doing that, right? And also, you know, it's funny, there was a thing the other day that I saw on whatever it was, YouTube, Instagram, and they said they took, you know, 10 red ants and they took 10 black ants, and they put them in a jar together. And they didn't even bother each other. They lived together perfectly. They took that same jar, they shook it, they put it back down, and they all started killing each other. It's exactly what they're doing to us.
Yeah.
If, you know, listen, there's always going to be jerk-offs. There's always going to be schmucks, white, black, Chinese, gay, lesbian, whatever, right? But we're all here on the same earth just trying to do the same thing. Live the best life we can live, survive, right? Without the fucking media, without the news, and without the government causing all this bullshit, we wouldn't have half this bullshit. It
1000%.
wouldn't even be here.
Yeah.
And you'll know that if you ever get locked up and you're in jail, you'll see there's some segregation. You know, the blacks are here, the Spanish are here, the whites are here. That's just the way it goes. But in time, you start working together. You know, you make friends with this guy over here, you make friends with this guy does your laundry, and in return, you get him some soups. This guy does this guy you like to talk to because he plays chess. Everybody works together, gets along just fine. You know, if we started doing that, right, and if we started, let's say, supporting all of our local farms, all the neighborhoods came together and said, we're going to support our local farms and start getting all of our meats and our fruits and our vegetables from local farms, and we could start building up all of our local farms in our area, and more people would start opening farms, right? We could smash that food system and thrive.
Oh, yeah.
And then if we started, you know, then people would come together and they'd start bartering. You know, oh, well, the Chinese are good at this and this and this, so we would use them for that. And then this set of people are good at this, and everybody starts trading and bartering and helping each other out to thrive and live together. We could live beautifully. We could all get along, and none of this bullshit would be like that.
Yeah.
It's them just throwing fuel on the fire, tossing it up to put all the attention on it, so they can do this, and that.
Divide and conquer,
to get
man.
this. You know,
That's exactly what it is, man.
so, you know, hopefully we get to that place one day. And like I said, you know, something I always wish for, but I don't totally anymore because, you know, I have a business on Instagram. But, you know, I always I wish that you know, everything would crash, like we said.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish, like, you know, it would actually do a total reset. The internet crashes. It's back to the basics.
Yes.
freaking going,
it's needed.
meeting people, handshakes, sending a fucking telegram,
Yeah.
like actually going back to the basics,
Yeah.
No more phones for the kids. What are we going to do? I play kick the can, go play hide and seek, ride your
Yeah.
bike, use your imagination, play cops and robbers like
Yes.
we used to do. All that shit. Oh, I can't do that. Don't put a gun in the kids.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. It's just all bullshit.
It is, man. The whole thing, man. And I think I'm just looking at the time. I got to go to my next thing. But yeah, we'll continue this in the next one. The next one when you come out for the next workout, because it is, man. I think that's needed, and I think all that we're talking about starts with people's discipline and health. Then they start thinking clearer and more free thinking.
100%.
They don't need, they're not drugged, so to speak.
You got to just first go and start getting that body right, which then gets the mind right.
Yes.
And you think more clearly, and then from there you're going to make better choices, think more clearly, 100%.
Yeah, man.
But I told you, listen, I love coming out. It's a 2.5 hour drive, but you know what?
Doesn't that take you that long?
Yeah, well, maybe about 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Okay.
Not too bad. Maybe I was
Thanks
probably
for
hitting
making
a
the trip,
buck 20
man.
a couple times, but hey. I try to come out every other week or maybe at least once a month.
Yeah.
Get a nice session in with you. I love to go back and forth because we got a lot of good shit to talk about. So I'll start doing that. Then I meet these guys out here. They can film me out here. Give them a little break,
Man. Yeah, for sure.
But we'll definitely start doing that.
That'd be great, man. And where can people follow you again?
Cowboy Keith.
Cowboy Keith.